Okay, abusuafo menkyerɛkyerɛ bibia na mensa ma bibia kɔ ababiem mfabra nkasa tv abusuafo afia pokua vim lady asa aka ne ho biem ɛwɔ ne program a yɛfrɛ no gya so na abusuafo na nsɛm a wɔde bɛto abɔnten no na ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa n'ani abere yie paa ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ ndc amaneko no ɔmo ayɛ mistake paa kyerɛ sɛ kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo tumi yi muntaka ne haruna ɔmo yi ɔmo to ase akonnwa no ɛbɛha ɔmo yie paa na sɛ ɛyɛ Dr. Mahmoud Baumia eyi ne running mate Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe Napo ɔmo yi ne ɛde ne PA no officially confirm yɛ no NDC ɛho pɔ yie paa kyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa ɔmo kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ Napo adwuma a ɔbɛyɛ no ɛnyɛ asɛm ketewa especially ɛwɔ Asante region NDC ntumi mbɛn hɔ na ɛyɛ Afia Poku Vim Lady aka nsɛm bebree kyerɛ sɛ wafaya ɛyɛ amanfo bebree especially ɛyɛ Aseidu Nketia so wɔde ne de ama na ɔkyerɛ sɛ Aseidu Nketia ɛde bɛto abɔnten sɛ ɛyɛ Napo a ɔnyɛ de hyeɛ kyerɛ sɛ nsɛm bebree Afia Poku Vim Lady ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ de hyeɛ ɛne yɛde to aba yɛnkɔtie nsɛm no mu kyerɛ mu mɛsɛ sɛ wobɛ subscribe to my channel wobɛ like na ado adwenkyerɛ so bɛgu comment section mu kamakama
Somebody said between more NDC and NPP, if there's any real battle, you people are the stealers. If there's any stealing, any rigging in election between NDC and NPP, the two of you, and if you don't come and tell us what we already know, Mona also go policy. NDC senior politician Roger Maturunu, Electoral Commission Conumti. This is the homework NDC must do. I don't think Maomiani and people will be worried too much. Omonim said 2020 they did not win Greater Accra region. It is likely they will not win Greater Accra region. I think they know. Anything about Omia, if you look at campaign about Omia and saying he's banking on the other regions. And that is why NDC suddenly NDC is panicking. And NDC is panicking. Because this is more hand and catch him say, Muntaka. Mo yami mbra mo kofa Dr. Dufo mo kofa ikojo bonsu na ene ejela general mosquito senior politician na kese your body dey ane asoro because on there from PNDC time wa bring keke and then you say don't get ya fire na pose na napo onye this year na ye this year na to aba and Ghana from your first president Osajefo everything when Mahama so one this year Ghana ye na ya this year e can dey obi ya this year in any case yɛmfa this year nkoto aba o yɛkɔ ballot paper no ana yɛkɔ dwom a yɛmfa this year neto aba so whether Napo yɛ this year or not this year it's irrelevant so why is NDC panicking why is it that suddenly NDC is worried about say Napo yɛ this year and Napo yɛ mo wɔ this year kodo bonsu ɔno to primesia mo use kodo bonsu mo sideline kodo bonsu completely Dr. Dufo yɛ this year wɔ Kumawu I don't know who use Dr. Dufo mo sideline Dr. Dufo. Now you are now attacking Napo so I this year. Any box say I want to so this year. Now what can I make us say Napo ni mami the film mention but it's completely irrelevant. Munya 27% of votes in Ashanti region. Go back and find out how you can use Muntaka to increase your vote to either 30% or 35%. That is this is homework. Don't go and attack Napo. That is bogus. Because once more here, Zaniema where me see Accra no my walk back where yeah it's okay my walk back it's okay
to our watching basically what we are going to do we are going to beat the NDC in this election with a strategy that they will never understand, one that will shock them, one that will amaze them. You remember how before we came into 2024 they said we don't have a message and we cannot even go out to campaign? I'm sure you remember.
Yeah. And
then because they were there, they were the only ones, and I'm sure you remember how in about 6 weeks Dr. Baumia pushed them into oblivion. And now you can't find them anywhere. And that till date, the Ghanaian people are struggling to understand what they represent and what the options they are. That's how we are going to beat the NDC. We are superior to the NDC. We have a flag bearer that is superior to John Mahama. A flag bearer that is more committed and sincere to the people of Ghana than John Mahama. John Mahama is disrespecting us by even thinking of coming to tell us that we should vote for him. He's disrespecting us. It's an insult to the people of Ghana for us to see him on TV and say, vote against these people and vote for me rather. You collapsed and sold 300 factories. We should vote for the people who have worked the private sector to bring 300 factories. We should vote against them and vote for you. You withdrew teacher and nurses allowance. You are telling us that vote against those who have restored teachers and nurses allowance and give it to me. You kept teachers and nurses who graduated at home, 2014, 15, 16. These people have come to keep them at post. You You are saying that vote against the MPP even though they brought these teachers and nurses to work, and vote for me who kept them at home. Teachers and nurses work for a year. You pay them for 3 months. You are saying that the ones that is paying them for the time they are working should be voted out, and then you, who paid them for 3 months instead of 1 year, you should be voted for. It doesn't add up. You kept us in darkness for 3 years out of your 4 years. You are saying that the guys that kept power on for 7 years, 8 years in their tenure should be voted out for you. It doesn't add up. You constructed over just about 4,000 kilometers of road. You are saying that we should vote against the government that has constructed 12,000 kilometers of road and vote for you. It doesn't add up. This government has encountered challenges. The macroeconomic indicators are difficult, have been difficult in the past 3-4 years. But this government is working at it. What we are having, the conversation we are having with the people of Ghana is this. Let's protect the gains we have made. Let's protect the little effort we've been able to, the little output we've been able to make, whilst we pursue the outstanding ones. And that's why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia proposes the bold solutions. The bold solutions encompasses protecting the gains, protecting and consolidating the gains we have made. At the same time, proposing specific sector tailor-made solutions to all the issues confronting us in this country. And the people are receiving it well. It's resonating with the people because they don't trust Mahama. They believe in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Mahama was vice president. He came to tell us in 2012 that he's a spare driver. You remember he said that at the IEA debate. He said, I'm a spare driver. Make me the main driver and I will deliver you.
Your candidate says he's a mate as well.
Exactly. A mate is far productive than the spare driver. Do you know what the spare drivers do? For those who go to church, or ask your cameraman in the production room, when you go to the church station, let me show you the setting. At the church station, the critical people, there's a bookman. You know the bookman?
Yes.
Then there are mates and the drivers. You know there's a shed.
Yeah.
That shed where they play the draft and the ludo. So whilst you are loading, you are playing your draft and your ludo. Over there are two categories of people. There are the drivers who are driving the cars and the spare drivers. They lazy around. They do nothing. The only time you see a spare driver do something is when a driver doesn't show up for work because he's not well. Or a driver has to do something and the spare driver will come and take your car temporarily and go. But do you know what happens to the mate? Whilst the driver is relaxing for his trotro to be loaded, the mate is loading it. The mate is cleaning the car. The mate is washing the car. The mate is checking the oil. A mate is far productive to the effort of transport than a spare driver. So really take your time to analyze the situation. But that's just beside the key point. The point here is that he said he's a spare driver. We should make him the main driver. We listened. We actually listened. And we made him a main driver. When he became main driver, what did he do to us? In fact, at the time when we went through challenges which were domestically induced, I won't say that governments do not encounter challenges. Every government will encounter challenges. But the difference between the good leader and a bad leader is that the good leader is not saying that there will be absence of challenges. But a good leader is the one that in the presence of challenges and difficulties is able to mobilize the people, work with them to get them out on the path of prosperity and progress. When he encountered challenges, when we were in energy crisis, when doctors were asking for better conditions of service, when nurses, the poor parents were asking for support for their children to go to school, he told the poor people in this country that if you only vote for me on the basis of the restoration of your nurses and teachers allowance, then I'll ask you to vote against me. He told the doctors that he's not ready to negotiate with them on anything. At the time when we didn't have power, he was increasing electricity. When we told him that it's becoming too expensive, even though it's not there, he said if it's becoming too expensive, stop charging your phone. That is that fine difference between John Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We have a government that says that yes, we acknowledge that there are challenges. The economic indicators haven't been easy, but we beg you, we have to take some hard pills now to be able to get ourselves out of this once and for all. Shall we look at these solutions? We need to do debt restructuring. Please, you need to let go a certain portion of your assets. It is just to save the state. We need to come back on our feet. And this government has been working day and night, slowly to try to get us out of it. You are saying that we should get this government out and bring you. You who encountered, tell me, what was the global economic challenges we were encountering in 2013, 14, 15, and 16 that warranted the difficulties we went through? We didn't have power simply because we had generators but had no money to buy fuel to power the generators. That was all. The
challenge we're facing now.
No, we are not. The same challenge we faced for 10 weeks. The same challenge we faced for 10 weeks. So that's the same challenge, and you are right. For 10 weeks, Why would you let go a government that put you through that challenge for 10 weeks for a government that put you through for 3 years? That is why Ghanaians don't trust him. That poor woman that you left her child at home for not accessing senior high school is the one going to vote against you. That senior high school, that basic school dropout, who wanted to go to school so bad